JRPGs tend to be fairly long, and thanks to that, my October only went somewhat as I'd planned, with many experiences being tried, but mostly only for a little bit at a time. The game I was most into saw me put a decent amount of time into it as I continued to jump into the rabbit hole of its series, but I also made sure to try some old favorites that just came out on Switch to see how they ran, and also a few other things that made me realize just how much we really are spoiled for things to play at the moment. It's impossible to fit everything in, but I'm excited to talk about the things I did. So let's get into the JRPGs I played in October. While my plans to review Trails from Zero last month fell through as I'm very much still playing, I did put another 40 hours into it in October that have made for an interesting experience as I get more into its world. I'm starting to really feel like I'm in the SSS at the moment, enjoying the responsibility of giving parking tickets and stopping various crimes within the city as the group's reputation continues to grow, and as it does, I found myself getting more into the story, enjoying how each character you meet has their own mark in the city of Crossbell and all the undercover things that make it truly an interesting place to discover, especially with Lloyd's detective skills to really help uncover these mysteries. I also finally understood how quotes and skills work in Trails that has me excited for future Trails games as I get that each line is unlocking different skills now. I'm also playing with the funny sentiment that I'm looking forward to Azure as I play through Zero even though I haven't finished it yet, but it is really nice to know that the sequel is coming fairly soon after I finish this, which is a rare kind of fun as most new releases leave us wanting more but not knowing when we'll get it. In my current journey in Zero, I'm midway through Chapter 3, which I think is about halfway into the game. I've also organized my personal time a bit better recently that I hope will let me finish it before the new release I want to play in November, so I think you can safely look forward to that review soon. And I'm looking forward to playing more and making that review, as whether it's support events or the interesting main story, the ever-complex world of Crossbell always feels like it's expanding. That has me excited to learn even more about it every hour I put in. Trails was the main thing I enjoyed in October, but if you look on the channel, I've covered other things recently too, as between my Trails time, I made sure to fit a few things in to keep up to date on the latest releases I was excited about. One thing did slip through the cracks though, which was Xenoblade 3's latest DLC, unfortunately, that I hope to catch up with in Wave 3. But you'll see here that thanks to demos, games I bought, and surprise codes received, more than enough was played to make my October a pretty busy month of games. The first thing that came out that I knew I wanted to try was NieR Automata's Switch version that I picked up a physical copy of. While I only played an hour with it, so far it's felt like one of the best Switch ports I've played, with its fast-paced moments being as reactive as they should be, and its graphics looking as good as I remembered, both in docked and handheld. And it definitely seems worth a replay on Switch that I talked more about in its own video, and is a Switch version I recommend for a brilliant game that deserves a playthrough on whatever system you can get it for. Continuing the trend of good ports was Persona 5 Royal, which I made a video about the PS5 version of, and eventually picked up the Switch version for, as honestly I just couldn't help myself. The Switch version seems good enough for the system, although I can't help but feel a little ruined by the PS5 version, as the 60 frames per second and super sharp visuals make it the place I want to replay it. I did mostly buy the Switch version to support the release and to have it in Japanese though, so I'm certainly not complaining. And with the PS5 version in English that I talked about as well, I can do another study-free playthrough if I want to have a very pretty Persona experience, and since my hour of remembering why I loved it was so fun, maybe I will someday. While these experiences were basically replaying things, I did get to try a few new things as well that let me play a good variety. And a true surprise, as I had resigned myself to not having time for it, I was sent a code for Star Ocean: The Divine Forest that meant I had a good excuse to try more of it. I just made a video on it recently, and I'm very happy I got to try the flying in it that I was so curious about, and I got to see more of its JRPG parts too, and can say it seems like an interesting game so far, so if you want to know more about that, feel free to check out my first impressions, as I really think it could be a fun new JRPG story. Finally, another successful demo experience I had was with Valkyrie Elysium that I actually nearly bought recently, as I found it for half price here. While I didn't pick it up as I know I won't be playing it soon, I liked a lot of things in the demo that were part of the reason I was tempted. The way it lets you summon souls to fight with you and have your own weapon adopt their element is really interesting, along with things like its map puzzles that make it seem like a unique experience. I probably won't play it soon because of time, but the demo did have me intrigued, and I did my new habit where I put it down 15 minutes in so I don't spoil myself on it, as I really would like to play it someday. Who knows when that will be. With a Trails game I still need to finish being my main priority, but all of the great games this month prove there's definitely a lot of JRPGs to be excited for, and that likely can be said for what's coming in November too. As I've said multiple times in this video, I'm knee-deep in Trails from Zero right now. That is my main priority in terms of what I'm playing. However, there are things I'm interested in for November, and I'm hoping to get at least one of them in when my Trails journey finishes. A few games such as the Tactics Ogre remake and Monochrome Mobius come out on the 11th have caught my eye, along with VIII's PS5 release on the 18th that will be great for those who haven't tried it yet. The one thing I will likely play though is Pokemon Scarlet, with that and its Violet counterpart coming out on the 18th as well, and after liking Arceus so much, I'm pretty keen to try what is said to be another open Pokemon world. Honestly speaking, I'm actually most interested in Monochrome Mobius, but it's only coming out on PC in the West, and I don't play games on mine, so unfortunately I'll be giving it a miss for now, but I'm very hopeful they'll release it on other consoles like the PS4 and PS5 somewhere in the future because I really want to play it. In any case, as usual, I'll definitely be busy with fun things to play in November, so I look forward to getting into them and also hearing what you guys end up playing too as we get into another month of old, new, and interesting JRPGs. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you played in October and what you plan to play this month. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!